Hi, I'm Adriana Ulrich with the Mom Bag Energy podcast, and today I've got my good friend Kelsey.
Hi.
She is the owner of Sprocket Business Solutions, and what's been really fun is I think I've known you since 2021.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, and she's probably like my OG gym friend as well.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
I feel like you had babies since then. Our kids are big. It's crazy.
The best part of that is I remember doing my personal training sessions with Ken and him being like, okay, well, if you're not done having kids, like, we need to like do this other track. And then if you are done, we're going to go this other direction. I was like, no, I'm done. And then like,
Yeah, you're like, I know. I remember you being like, no, I'm for sure done.
I'm done. And then like 9 months later, I was like, I'm pregnant.
I love it because I was thinking that would be me. I was like, I know for sure I'm not going to. But then on the side, I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
You never know.
So I just kind of have everybody start off talking about their kids' ages. So
Yeah.
if you want to, like, you don't have to disclose the names. It's up to you. But if you just want to let us
Sure.
know.
They're really popular names now. I thought I was being so cool and like we're looking into like, our cultural backgrounds and stuff. So my kids, I have twins. I have 10-year-old twins and their names are Sean and Isla.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, Sean's not that unique, but Isla's pretty unique. Now we know like 7 Islas her age. We don't know a single Sean that's not an old man. Like, okay, well, whatever works.
Yeah, no, it totally happens. I didn't think I knew a single Leighton when we named her that. And
Yeah.
then now we know like 5 as well.
I
So
know,
it's like
and I love that name.
you try so hard and then you just meet like 10 other kids with the same name once
Yeah.
they're born. So it's like, it's fine.
What can
It's
you
fine.
do? At least,
We're on trend.
Yeah, we're on trend. We just didn't even know it.
Yes, exactly. We're tastemakers. So I guess I really want to dial in on your experience having twins because I believe your husband was in med school.
He was in
or
residency. Yeah.
Yes. So what was that experience like for you? Because you guys also weren't in Omaha near family.
Yeah, it was tough. It was mostly insane is the word that I use to describe it. Luckily, we were like halfway between. His family was a few hours north. My family was a few hours south.
Perfect.
We were in Sioux Falls because I'm basically grew up here. So it was insane. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. It was like, surprise, we're pregnant on the first try. Surprise, we are having twins for our first go around. Surprise, it's in the middle of residency. So I remember, I was telling this funny story the other day. I remember my husband is like holding my baby who's way too young to probably be on shoulders and like holding her feet and hands. And he's on the computer studying for his tests. And she's watching Frozen in a little corner of the computer while I'm trying to take care of the other one. And that basically just describes like my first year with my kids.
Yes.
Like I'm so grateful for it though, because I probably would have been much more anal retentive about stuff. Like
Yeah.
I was crazy for a while and went through a phase where like we grew and our own vegetables and made our own baby food.
I love it.
And really all I did was like squash because it was so easy to grow and it grew out of control. And after that I was like, this is dumb. Why am I doing this? So if we hadn't had that baby food maker that like the Breeza that does
Yes.
that one, like I was like, we're done with this. Like I wish that I was like that trad wife who makes her own sourdough every day.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's just not me at all. My husband did that during COVID, like when we all picked up weird hobbies.
Yeah.
But
I love
not
that for
me.
Noah.
Yeah, I know. My waistline did not love it. So I was like, oh, fresh bread again. Amazing. But that was just not my thing. So yeah, it was crazy. Like, but I'm so grateful because I probably would have been like, oh no, all organic, like
Yeah.
no pacifiers. And then I remember regretting all of those things I made. Like as a mom, every mom goes into pregnancy or their first kid or every kid, I think. You could tell me more because mine all at the same time with like these preconceived notions. And then I'm like, why did I not let them have a pacifier? Now my kids have no like binky or blankie to get attached to.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was a mistake. That was a huge mistake.
No, I can piggyback right off that story. Like, I grew up eating organic. I think my mom was like the OG Whole Foods mom.
Yeah.
And so I remember like being in Houston in the 90s, like going down the aisles and like the first time we had officially like converted from like regular pancakes to like whole food pancakes. And even just having that like conversation with my dad via our eyes of just like, this is not going to work. And so
Yep.
because I was raised like that, and I feel like I've had a pretty good health history, I wanted to do that with my own kids. And
Yeah.
I remember Barrett being 9 months old, and we're in like him, and he's with Jace. Like Jace is watching one of his shows. Barrett's like in his bouncer doing his thing, and he's like crying. And then all of a sudden he like stops because I'm in the kitchen like doing dishes or something.
Mhm.
And I'm like, hey, Jace, what did you do to make him stop? And he's like, oh, I gave him a Cheeto.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, there goes
So,
that,
yeah.
you know? And so it's like,
Everybody does that. Like I grew up
Yeah.
like canned green beans were my snack. Like we never had soda in my house.
yeah,
And now I'm just like, oh, you want this processed like Annie's bunnies or whatever, like we were talking about earlier. I'm like, yeah, sounds great. Like
perfect.
we're trying to survive. But I'm so glad that like, not that mothers ever have it easy in their
Yeah.
lives, but just nowadays, especially since COVID, I think one of the good things that came out of COVID, unfortunately, is now we have like grocery pickup and more
Yeah.
delivery options because there's just so much weighing on moms for that.
Absolutely. Like, especially as your family gets larger. I mean, you guys are rocking it as a family size of 4, which is like your average American family. But it's just like, I don't feel like there's one consolidated grocery store you can go to in Omaha. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I know a single person. Like, a lot of us are running to like multiple grocery stores.
Yep.
And so having pickup or delivery is such a game changer.
Oh, night and day. Yeah. Especially when you've got little ones at
Yeah.
home that maybe aren't in school full time or they're only in preschool or whatever.
Yeah.
The last thing that kid wants to do is go to the store. My kids are 10 and they're still like, please don't make me. Like, okay.
Yeah. Or you have the child that wants to buy everything in the
Yes.
store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I need this. I'm like, you can hold this while we shop, and I'm going to slyly slip it back on the shelf as we're about to leave.
No, definitely. So if somebody was pregnant with twins, I guess what would you say to them, or what would you?
Meal prep every single meal now. That was the one thing. I was like, the last thing I have a modicum of effort in
Yeah.
is to feed myself, and I just wasn't able to take care of myself as
Yeah.
much as, I mean, no mom is.
Yeah.
So they have a great, if you can afford it, meal prep services, make those pre-made meals. Don't do HelloFresh where you still have to make it. I do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes I regret it now. But just feed and water yourself. Like basically like do the basic minimum like your dog. Just feed and water yourself. Prep your
Yeah.
food. I mean, there are some things, there are definitely hacks in my life that have made having twins so much easier.
Yeah.
But there's also so many weird things that you just don't expect. And they're not the same kid. So what works for one kid is not going to work for the other kid.
Absolutely.
And so it's just best of luck to you. You'll be fine if they don't eat organic and you don't make their own food. Like fed is best. I'm a big person of like survive how you can and whatever works for you.
Yeah.
So
No, definitely, definitely, definitely. Okay, so my first question for you is there a mom fail that like you laugh at now or that still haunts you or
there are so many. So many. I was thinking about this question the other day and I was like, where do I start? The first one is a short one, but I was like, how did they even figure this out? Because they must have been under 2 because we were at our old house. And these kids, I fed them peas and I'm thinking they're fine. And I don't know how they learned this at this age. They are putting a pea up a nostril and then snipe shooting the pea at the other one. So I turn around and I've got booger peas being shot at. How did I fail? What happened here? It's just, and then, this is a really bad one that somebody brought up the other day. So, you know, when your kids are like 2, 3, and you have to finally start like watching the words that you're using.
Yes, yes.
Everybody goes through this. And I had this one year, we had an infestation of those Japanese beetles. And we tried everything to save my rose bushes. And I was always like, these flippin', and I didn't say flippin', Japanese beetles all the time. It was destroying my life. And we're at the splash pad one day, and Isla is my kid who she loves bugs. She loves bugs now. She's loved bugs since she was like 1 year old. And she's picking up all of the Japanese beetles. And some kid is with his mom, and he's like, oh, what are those? And she goes, oh, they're flipping Japanese beetles. I
love it.
just mortified. And my mother goes, "What did you say?" And she's like, "Oh, grandmother." And I'm like, she goes, "Kelsey, you got to start watching your language." And that was my wake up moment. I'm like, okay, we got to have a talk.
No,
So,
it's definitely so hard. And it's something we struggle with as a family. Like, I don't endorse children cussing, but it's like obviously my husband and I run a construction business. And so it's like they just, if a call is on like the Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi,
mhm,
like they just hear
you
some
get it. Yep.
language and, it's funny to see what they pick up, except when they embarrass you like full fledged and you're
Oh,
like, oh
absolutely.
my God,
Because
never
it's things
again.
you never expect, too. You
Yeah.
hear grandpa or somebody say that one word and you're like, oh, that's going to come back to me. It's never that. It's something you said in passing when you thought they were sleeping
Yeah.
at some point.
You're on the opposite end of the house
Yeah,
and you say it under your breath, and then that's when they grab
that's when they
it.
get it. But when I'm like in your face saying, could you please pick up your socks? Nothing.
Okay, so what's the best piece of advice someone else ever gave you regarding motherhood?
Oh my gosh. I wish that I could think of a specific one. I feel like there's
Yeah.
so many. Like,
Yeah.
I think one of the greatest things about life is I feel like women now are so much more open with their
Yeah.
struggles and they're much more honest with what they're going through. So we
Absolutely.
talk about all these weird things that were taboo before. We talk about how hard breastfeeding is for some people
Yeah.
and all of
My
these crazy
gosh.
things. So I wish that I could pinpoint like one thing, but I think it was people a lot of times being like, listen, you're doing a great job. They'll
Yeah.
be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like just providing those words of
Yes,
encouragement.
exactly.
Okay. And of course, now my questions.
I
My
know.
phone is frozen. What's your favorite thing to tell new moms?
You're doing a good job. Like, it's
Yes.
okay, whatever. I have a friend right now who's just had a baby a few months ago.
Hmm.
And, we talked about you expect a hard birth or all of these hard things, but no one talks about how hard breastfeeding can be or the
Yeah.
struggle to, if you want to, but you end up having to formula feed or
Yeah.
different things. Just, I think the biggest thing I can do for new moms is you're doing a great job. It
Yeah.
will be okay. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Like whether you need laundry done or whatever it is, I don't care because I remember barely because I was so sleep deprived. Like it will be okay.
No, absolutely. And I think you bring up such a valid point. Like we get so, and I think it's normal. Like there's just so much anxiety and kind of stress over like the birthing moment because especially when it's your first, like you don't know, are you going to have a natural birth? Are you going to end up having
Mm-hmm.
a C-section? There's so many unknowns and people talk about like the pain and should I get an epidural? Should I not get
Should I
an
not?
epidural? Like
Yeah.
there's just so many decisions even in that one event
Yeah.
that we almost forget to talk about like what the first 24 hours in the hospital are going to look like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? What is like going home going to look
No
like?
one tells
Like
you that they're going to hand you this baby and you're going to be like, is this, how are they, I'm
I'm
responsible for this
allowed to
now?
leave.
Yeah. Like you're just going to hand me this baby? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And you're right. No one talks about that. So I feel like sometimes we worry too much about the wrong things.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
but
For
that's
sure.
okay. Every moms, you're doing great. Whatever you're doing, as long as your kids are fed, it's fine.
So, what is the life hack that you like that's changed your life or that you swear by?
Well, I have 4 people in my house with ADHD. And it is insane all of the
And then the
time.
dog situation, you've got like
Yeah,
two large
we
dogs,
have
right? Or
no. I my husband wanted to get an Irish Wolfhound, and we already have a 90-pound fur ball dog. So I was like, okay, we we can get another dog, but it's got to be small. So this one's only 13 pounds.
okay.
He's an insane monster, but I love him. He's a rescue
Yeah.
we got. At least he was potty trained.
Yeah.
That was like my one thing. So, like this morning, we live in a fantastic neighborhood. So,
Yeah.
our group of kids going to school is growing. So, we've got like 5 kids, and my husband's got 2 dogs, and we're all rushing out that door. And I'm
Yeah.
putting makeup on for the first time in like a week to
Yes.
be here.
No, this is the only time I put on
And
makeup.
so, yeah, it's it's insane all the time. But, so I just try to do little things that hacks that help my family. So a couple of them, one of the ones I did that I wish I could tell every mom, it's so easy, is my kids were the kids that needed a spoon and a fork and a knife and every utensil possible for dinner. And then they bit through the plastic ones when they were first teething because they're
Yeah.
little monsters. So I got these stainless steel fork knife spoon combos.
Oh.
They have lasted us like 8 years. My kids still use them at every meal. Because I'm like, listen, we got to cut down on dishes somehow.
Yeah.
So those, and another thing that I've had have worked out for a couple of other people too, is I just finally did it. I am donating all of their socks. My
Yeah.
kids are the same age, but socks are so stretchy you can wear, I mean, like 5 year difference.
Yeah.
I'm donating all the socks. I bought a 48 pack of the same socks, 48
Yeah.
pairs off of Amazon. And then we have a little 3-drawer set next to where all the shoes are in the kitchen
Yeah.
downstairs. So all the socks, they never go upstairs. So I'm not losing
Gotcha.
socks
They're
under
like
bed.
right there
They're
by
right
the
there.
door,
Yes.
ready to go.
Ready to go. And you don't have to match them up. I'm not spending another Tuesday afternoon
gosh.
matching socks.
I know.
They get thrown in there. And then they just have to pick one out and put it on right with their shoes.
Yeah.
And it is, I think, saved me so much time.
Yeah.
And worked out so well because
For
it's just
sure.
like, listen.
Well, I swear those people at Target that sell the Hanes socks are very tricky because I swear by the time you go back to buy another set and you're like, oh, I'll buy the same set, they've changed the pattern.
Yes.
Like they are
just a
really
little
out to
bit.
get you.
Yes, like or the where that shows is just slightly different. Like I'd be fine if the color on the toe
Yeah.
didn't match, but
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. No, that's
for
why
sure.
I just had to just we're donating every single sock here,
Yes.
and then we are getting 48 pairs
of the same sock.
Yes, it was so great. They came in like a garbage bag from Amazon, and there was no like little plastic ties. And I
Yeah.
was like, this is my
This is
dream.
amazing.
As a mom, it is amazing how low the
No,
bar is
for
set
sure.
for things that excite
Yeah,
me.
no, because I think we get to a point where like there really are no matching sets, and we get rid of them and we move on because
Yeah.
it's just like it's not worth my sanity, like you say, to like spend an hour.
It's not. And they
putting
have all
together
these cutesy
socks.
ones that people give
Yes,
them, and
like-
I'm just like, this is great, but adios.
This is amazing, but
Yeah.
is there a return receipt?
Yes.
If someone is in the trenches right now, what would you say to them?
I felt bad because I just keep repeating the same thing. But
Yes.
it's like, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
But also, like, just try to take time for yourself
Yeah.
any way you can. I remember the thing that saved me when the kids were like 2 and teething and insane and still not sleeping through the night was I got a gym membership that had childcare.
Yeah.
And I would literally put them in the childcare just to go to the sauna or the
Yeah.
steam room or just to shower uninterrupted. And like find your thing that's like that and make it work however you can. Like childcare is super
Absolutely.
expensive. Babysitters are expensive and preschool is expensive.
Yeah.
Just try to find out what works with your budget so that you can have a shower uninterrupted
No,
or whatever it is.
definitely.
You know what I mean? Get
Definitely.
your
'Cause
nails done.
I know right now the YMCA, I think for like a membership with even just one adult, like if you think your husband's never going to use it, I think it's $74 a month.
Yeah.
And it's like they will watch your child for 2 hours.
Yes.
And you can go to any YMCA. So even if you're like, okay, I need to like cycle through, it's a really good tidbit.
It really is. And I think that a trend I've noticed in gyms that's been super great for people like both you and I is there's a lot of co-working spaces becoming more available. So even if
Absolutely.
you're like, I just need to, whether you're work outside the home or not, whether you just need to respond to school emails or get a little
Yeah.
bit of work done or sit in
Or
the
fill
hot
out
tub.
patient paperwork for the doctor's office.
Everything. Yes, there's always so much. Adriana, I have 30,000 emails right now.
Kelsey.
30,000. So I am drowning.
Yeah, no,
I'm a digital
for
hoarder,
sure,
but
for
that's my
sure.
email address that like gets
Everything. No,
Yeah.
totally.
So I'm like, okay, one of these days. that's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen.
So-
But even if you're just doing that, whatever you
For
gotta do
sure.
that makes you feel like you can breathe.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
so important to try to like carve out that time for yourself. What summer camps are the kids doing this year? Kind of what is your plan? Because I know that Noah has kind of like a bizarre
Schedule.
schedule. So
Yeah.
I mean, we can even talk about that for a second. It's like, what is that like? Because it's like him not having a regular 9 to 5 job then kind
Yeah.
of puts you in a non-traditional kind of setting, and then you're an entrepreneur, so then
Yeah.
you add in that other X factor.
then
So it's
there's,
like, so how do
yeah.
you kind of go about crafting? Because when this episode comes out, this will be like the first week of summer. So it's like, how do you come about crafting like your weekly schedule? Do you know what I'm
Insanity.
saying?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I feel like
like,
that's
what do
becoming more
you-
common now. Like,
yeah,
first of all, kudos to you if you have 2 working parents that work 9 to 5. because
Yeah.
I truly don't know how you do it.
yeah,
And I feel like just more unique schedule or hybrid schedules is becoming more common. So everybody's got to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
So, like, Noah has a couple of weeks off in June. Of course, it
Nice.
happens to be when I actually have them signed up for a camp. I'm like, "Wait, what?"
No, you're taking a vacation.
So,
Why?
I know, what?
Who
So,
gave
but
you all this free
I
time
know,
off, Noah?
exactly. I'm like, but then you're going to be at my house making messes. So it's great. It's my husband's schedule is great because he works nights. So during the school year, he gets to be there in the morning to see the kids before they go to school.
Awesome.
He wakes up for a little bit when they get off of school. So our kids have no idea how spoiled they are. We are both there to pick them up most
Yeah.
days. So, and then, it's when you're a mom, I think you're either working at 5 a.m. or 9 p.m. or whenever you can.
Yeah.
So, but I think the one thing that I didn't expect was the age gets harder when they're at about my kids' age and a little bit older for summer camps because you need full-time care when they're at a younger age.
Yeah.
But now I've got them in like half days and
Yeah.
they can be home if Noah's home, if he's got to sleep, if he's got to work
Yeah.
at night, or some days we don't need childcare at all.
Yeah.
So we are just, throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks right now.
Yeah.
Like we've got hockey 4 nights a week and we've got
Yeah.
orchestra camp. But I think I'm really trying to, and my daughter is so good at this. She's so much better at this than me. Like, I feel like we can always learn stuff from our kids. She's good at protecting her peace.
Yeah.
And protecting her time. She's like, do not overbook me. Do not schedule me. I will do this once. And I'm like, how are you? Like,
That's
I am so
hilarious,
jealous.
but that's
like,
amazing, and I can so see that, Nyla.
Yeah,
like for sure.
She's just like, I will not be doing that. I'll not be participating in this shenanigans. And I'm like, I wish I could.
She's
do
like,
that.
Mom, just because you run around like a crazy
Yes.
person does not mean like I'm gonna be
And
doing
I
it.
think that she sees that, like, sometimes we come like our parents. She's like,
Yeah.
that is not for me. I will not be doing that. So they're like in a half day
Yeah.
camp, which they love. It's Minecraft coding.
Very
So
cool.
they're at that age where they're obsessed with Minecraft
Yeah.
right now. And then they have a few other camps, and then like they have one I have never done. Have you ever done any camps through Omaha parks?
No, I haven't.
I hear great things. They're
Things.
excited. They're excited for their one that they're doing out at Zarinsky.
Oh, very
But
cool.
this will be our first time doing
it.
that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think it's honestly a lot of trial and error and seeing kind of what fits and what works. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And just kind of editing every summer.
yes.
Because I think as much as you want the kids on a schedule and like for yourself, you need them on a little bit of a loose schedule so you know
Yeah.
when you can work and when your work
Mhm.
blocks are. I think in summer it's like you kind of want to have that flexibility and that fun
Yeah.
so that everybody can kind of just like relax a little bit and
And you
enjoy
only get
themselves.
so many summers with our
Yeah,
kids' age. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like, pretty soon then they're driving and ditching
Yeah.
us to protect their peace, probably. So
She's closing the bedroom door.
yeah, she does. I mean, like, I love it. My kids are so different. Like, my son and my
Yeah.
husband, they could live in chaos all the time. Like, they'll be singing a song, and you'll hear the other one finish it from upstairs. And my daughter, like, have her eye mask on, like, in her room with her white noise. I'm like, good for you, girl.
That's
I
amazing.
cannot. But
So the last question that we have is really just like, how do you find balance within motherhood and like, how do you carve out that time? Because I think it's also like, in one way, I could totally see the positives of having twins where it's like, you are just like nailing it out. But I think also for you with having like fraternal twins, one boy, one girl, they're going in opposite directions because you're also really stressing like
Yeah.
the different personalities and obviously like the different interests, the different hobbies. So it's like, you are getting pulled thin. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
we're
it's like,
getting to that age where it's getting
Yeah.
much more difficult. When they were young, it was great because everything was kind of co-ed and
yeah,
they liked everything. They didn't have as
Yeah.
many strong opinions as
Specific.
these tweens do. And now they know what they like. So when they were younger, like they both did scouts together, they both did skating
Yeah.
together. Now, we are getting pulled in different directions. So like my daughter's in hockey now, but it's not
Yeah.
her thing. And she's like, I'm not going to do it over the summer. My son will be in it 4 nights a week, which is crazy. And I
Yeah.
told him not to be, and he just loves it. Like, if they
and that's
find that
also
sport,
really
they just love
hard.
it.
It's like
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, I think we should pull back, but they just love it so much that you're like, I
Yeah.
guess we're not pulling back then.
I never thought I thought I would be that parent and be like, oh no, we're chill. We do something 1 night a week. I never thought because I didn't push my kid to do it. I didn't
Mhm.
expect my kid to be so obsessed with it that he was
Yeah.
like, no, I love this. I would do it every day if I could.
Yeah.
So that's new for me because I'm much more like like I love them. Like I have hobbies, but I'm not like super passionate about one.
Yeah.
But it is nice because then they can go with us to do more stuff. Like I'm getting to the age where Isla is now like gonna start golfing with me and
Yeah.
golf together. So that's fun too.
Definitely.
So I just think every parent, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how baseball parents do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in charge of micro soccer. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do it all. You do it all, and I am just trying to keep afloat.
No, you're good.
So that's the thing. Every day we try. I'm always gonna forget. Like I forgot my son had before school donuts
Yeah.
the other day, and you do the best you can. But I am old school. Like I have to have we have the physical wall calendar. Yeah, because we try to sync everything on our phones, but we have to physically see that it's on the door to the garage.
Yeah.
You see it every single day, and that's another thing that just works for my family.
Yeah.
Like, I would love if it didn't. But
Yeah.
it does.
No, like I think I do a lot of data entry into my phone, like appointments and putting things in my phone. And then almost like the week before, I'm writing everything out on a calendar. Like, do you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm physically writing it. So then that's like the second time. And then I'm like seeing it. That's a third time to kind of help make sure like things don't fall through the cracks. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, for sure. That's the kind of
so
learner
easy
I am
to
too.
do. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think all of my community involvement, I really focus on like low lifts. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there were definitely some mornings where like having to get to the micro soccer field like an hour early and discovering there's like a softball tournament. So I have all these softball teams on my micro soccer field and I'm having to like run around like a crazy person and politely ask everybody to vacate the premises.
Yeah.
You know, but I just feel like overall it went really smoothly. So it didn't feel like this massive thing I was like trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I just think it'll be really interesting because I don't know if Leighton's participating in micro soccer next year, so I just don't know if it makes sense. Like I really don't mind doing it and I do enjoy it. I just don't know if that's like the right space for me to be
it's hard at that
leaning
age.
into.
Yeah, because you don't know. Isla's that way. I know Sean will always be one. We don't have to worry about what are we going to do next season.
Yeah.
But when they're little and with my daughter, you don't know what you're going to be doing. So it's unfortunate you don't get super invested in a program, but it is nice to be able to try new things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
absolutely.
fun.
Well, do you have any closing thoughts?
I wish I did. Moms, you're doing great. It's really all it is. Like you're doing great. I feel so bad because I see so many moms who are just feeling like, and it's hard for stay-at-home moms. It's hard for working moms who are like, oh, how do you work and have kids at the same time? Because you feel like you're never doing good enough. Personally, I've always struggled with never feeling like I'm doing good enough at work or at home or balancing both.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you don't look at the huge picture and all like this looming summer schedule and all of those things, just take it a day at a time, a week at a time, and little tidbits. Because I mean, you've got kids in 4 different schools, so you can only take it a day at a time.
Exactly,
right?
you can't. And Kelsey, you are doing an awesome job. I just think instead of like aiming for perfection, it's just kind of like 70% is like good enough. Do you know what I'm saying?
Good.
Like
C's get degrees, girl. I wish I would have had that. I wish I would have had that mentality going through life because I'm kind of that. I see it in you too, where that all or nothing, like we dive deep, and it's hard to just kind of say, hey man, it's good enough, because I want my kid to know that. I want my kid to feel like, hey, I tried my best. And my best is okay.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, thank you, Kelsey, again so much for coming.
Me.
She's also on the Omaha Local podcast. And I will link everything so that you guys can find her for all of her business solution type things. Thanks
so much for having me.
Of course.